Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to the Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, episode number 134. My name is Glenn Gers. I run the channel Writing for Screens, and I am here every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to let you look over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script, just to demystify the process of screenwriting. Process being the key thing here, the figuring it out, scene by scene, line by line, every step of the way, because you want to know what makes a great script. Existing. Not being written is the first and worst flaw in any script. Now, this is not the best process. This is not the only process. This is just my process that I have learned in the 25-year career I've had writing TV and movies. So I just want to walk you through how I do it in case that can be helpful to you. When you're looking at a blank page and thinking, how do I do this? Hopefully watching me do it will help. You do not have to watch all of these episodes. You do not have to learn the full scope of it. It's just something you can check out now and then, get some lessons of. Hopefully that you can take what works for you, because everyone is different and every writer has to figure out their own process. These are just some mechanics, some tricks that might help you. Okay, hello Maritatoso, hello Wolf Powers. Greetings. I am here. Again, we're going to get back to the writing because I'm very excited about this. Let's just talk about the script. Okay, in the past 10 work days, past couple weeks, we have been going through the outline and adding these notes on what needs to be rewritten. I did the first draft, the rough draft. It is, I'll tell you how rough it is. It's 96 pages. It has to be 60, so it is 50% too long. One out of every 3 words, one out of every 3 lines has got to be cut. Hello, Brian. Good to see you. Nice that you are here. So the first thing that way too long. Let's just cut that because yeah. And I found a title, so I can cut this. These are all things to do, and I am taking them off the list. The outline serves as both a workspace and a things to do list. When I start my workday, I don't have to think, oh, what am I going to do? I just look at the outline and I say, what has to be done? Hey, Kitschy. Hey, people. We are just talking about the next phase of activity because we have gone through the entire outline and tried to solve the big problems, and now it's time to cut, because really, until I get this to a manageable shape, I can't start to really write it well. It's too freaking long. And the great thing is what's too long is not important. The stuff that I've written that's overwritten, it can be cut. It's not like it's too long because every single sentence is full of incredibly important stuff. I've got waste here. I've got stuff to cut. Hello, Javier. Hello, Najo. Yes, rewrites the final frontier. Not at all, actually. Well, final in the sense that it goes on a long time. But honestly, this rewrite is not the final frontier. It is just moving towards the frontier. So here's the deal. I have now, I decided that the thing I need to do next is cut the script down. This is the most important thing. And so I'm just going to get right to it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, I'm going to start from page 1. And I'm going to go through and just try and cut every word and line that I easily can. If there's something that's kind of like that, I'm going to leave it. But there's just so many things that can go. All right. Hello, Jean. Welcome. We're getting people in here. This is great. What we are doing today is cutting to show us the strange new world called screenwriting. Indeed, and in today's adventure, we are hacking away at words dimly. See, I want to start adding. Um, And now I'm just going to start cutting words. That's the first thing. We're definitely going to get to cutting lines. Um, okay. I haven't decided on that. What I'm doing now is as I read through, I am looking, is there a way to, like, he's got professional headphones on. That's actually important. Big old microphone. But is it an old microphone? Or should I just say professional microphone and headphones? Hmm. Cutting. Um, well, Kitchi, that is fantastic. Good for you. I envy you. I need to be like you. Um, there we go. You know what? Obviously, he speaks into his mic. Uh, hey, Iwrite, we're cutting. We are going to start cutting. We need to get this thing down to less pages. Okay, for instance, this we definitely do not want. We're going to move this. All right. Okay, down the line I have to, one of the things I've got in the outline is that I want to, here, let me show you this outline thing. Okay. what I want to do is, in the first version of this scene, George does his whole monologue, and then he goes out and goes to the house, eats, and gets poisoned. I have recognized that that is a bad mistake for a couple reasons. First of all, if he's going to get poisoned, he should be poisoned in the garage, because that's going to be the crime scene, the primary crime scene. So therefore, he's got to stop his recording it a bit, which I want to do anyway, to get a sense of stopping and starting. Because when he stops, he reveals, he opens the door, and it's a garage door, and it reveals that he's in his garage. And so his sort of professional quality gets undercut by the garage nature of what he's doing. And so what I'm going to do is have him do that, go out, grab something to eat, come back in, and start working. Now, the nice thing about this is when you do something like that, when you have somebody go out and go into the kitchen and get food, you don't actually have to show every step of the process. You can cut things and jump some time when you're doing that. So, yes, absolutely. Script and outline are separate documents. This is, I'm cutting between them. You can't really see this because I've got them here. Let me show you. Script is in Final Draft. Outline is in word processing. There we go. Okay. So, so first of all, not the first victim, the last victim. I'm just making words shorter. You just never know. It's Murray Simpson, age 37. I am glad to hear that my tips are helping your issues. I honestly don't know how to. Yeah, I feel like the whole point of what I am trying to show you is so that when you, if I've done it right, when somebody sees one of my videos, the next time they go to work, they're like, oh, I see. I've got a tool here to make this easier. That's the goal. So I am absolutely thrilled to know that. All right, this is just way too long. It's 37. Murray Simpson was a florist in Perkins, Tennessee. Age 37. Okay, so I'm just reading through and starting to just trim. See, like this is a lot. It's the sandwich that killed him. The pickled peppers. Laced with a unique poison. Unique and never before seen is redundant. Okay. Toxicology. Toxicology. Kreslin. I'm just making up a word here, which is, so I'm italicizing it. Toxicology. Okay, so let's see what else. I just want to cut. The breathing speeds up. The body frantically attempts to. Gasp. Dizzy. They feel dizzy. They gasp for. Okay, just cutting. Buzzing, thickening numbness. They lose the ability to walk. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, could I just say anaphylactic shock? No, because this point of the speech is, the point is I want to get all the detail in that I can, because we are then going to watch him have that. Okay, so we got stop breathing twice, so let's just... this is the most important thing here. So I'm not going to overcut this right now. Helpless. Fully aware they are being killed. Creeping through their bloodstream into their nerve endings and brain. Nerve ending brain. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be later. See, now we have the same information. Poisoned the jar of pickled peppers. Okay, so let's just move that alternate. chemistry set killer. The killer had broken into his home. With a distinctive, unique poison. Yeah, I'm not worried about. To tell you the truth, I'm just really trying to cut right now. I'm not rewriting. I'm just trying to cut. I'm trying to find what I can do. This is still too long. This whole speech goes on and on and on. So I'm just looking right now, not to overcut. Like I cut all this, but what I'm trying to do is just get the thing to have some kind of clarity and flow. And laced the peppers with a distinctive, unique poison. See, that's 2 words. I don't really need them. It's close to several natural, chemically created in a distinctive way. Okay, so let's cut distinctive here. With a unique toxin. A mixture of naturally occurring nightshade, and cretlin plant toxins. Chemically distinctive. Chemically distinctive. See, we're cutting. What we're doing is cutting words, cutting words. Mixture of plant toxins. There we go. Look at that. Cutting words. No problem. That's it. Each day I have a different agenda. Today and probably for all of next week, I will just be cutting. Because like I said, down here in the bottom corner, you might see, I don't know if you can see it, I'm moving the arrow, 1 of 96. This is 96 pages long. I need this to be 60 pages long. So right now, I'm going to spend the next sessions just cutting. Days or maybe even weeks before, and lace the peppers with a unique mixture of plant toxins. See, boom. Now we're cutting. With a chemical unique mixture. The killer had manufactured this poison on his own by had manufactured, had created this poison, this distinctive. See, because later on I'm going to talk more about this, so I don't want to waste a minute. With a unique mixture of plant toxins, created this, would use it again on the victims over the course of 5 years. The FBI serial killer task force would later name him the chemistry set killer. Cool. Okay, then we're just going to describe this. Cut that. This is not right. I'm just not bothering with it right now because I'm trying to just get cut. It's a cold case. Don't need ice cold. Cold is cold. No one cares. No one cares. This guy vanished in 1985. He killed 11 people. He killed 11 people in different states. See, what I did was I just, when I wrote this, just had to get in, I dumped the information. But the information has to have a flow when it's a speech. Especially speeches need a flow. Your audience will go with a speech if it's making a progress that they can follow and they don't feel like they're just being piled on with stuff. But if it's like this leads to this and that counters that and there's a flow of it going to an ending, they will accept a speech. Right now, I just dumped information, so I'm just starting to sort through it. Would ChemSet, chemistry, it just ChemSet, ChemSet isn't really a word. Chemistry set is a toy whose chemistry sets were a home toy for kids to learn chemistry. So that's what where the name is playing off of. The thing is, some of this information will happen. I can get in later. I don't want the speech to be so long that we get lost or bored. Okay, so I'm just reading through this to see what to cut. So he didn't leave. See, this is... his victims... But his victims were his were in different states of all ages, which is a wide variety of ages. For connections and similarities among the victims. First, different states of all ages, races. We're in different states. All ages, different ages. Okay. See, now I'm saying his signature he created, he designed it, so I don't need to say it here, up here. That we're cutting. Okay. But he did sign his work. The poison itself was his signature. See. We don't know about this, so boom. It says beat to create Pierre. Hi, Pierre, by the way. Welcome. Pierre is talking about these lines that say beat. Different writers do different things to do this, but if you have a long speech or even two different thoughts in a short set of dialogue, within your dialogue, sometimes you want to break up sections of dialogue, suggest that there's either a mental adjustment, a change of thought, or simply a little pause. I like beat for that. You could say he thinks, but I like beat. It tells the actor to take a beat, but it's very, it doesn't cause a lot of attention to call it attention to itself. Anyway, so that beat in the parentheses in dialogue means a little pause, a tiny pause, or a shift in sections of dialogue. In other words, we're changing from that beat to this beat. Beats being sections. He understood the principle of this. He did, so he didn't leave it. He didn't. So he didn't leave it. FBI profilers look for. See, look at all the words we are cutting out. The CSK was smart. He understood the principle of evidence. Not even sure this is necessarily principles of evidence. Okay, so he wanted to make sure they knew he was getting away with it. See? Cutting. Look at that. I'm down to 95 pages. I have cut a page. So this is still too long, but we're getting there. Okay. I was 11 years old when I first heard. Okay, maybe 11. The reason I'm thinking about 11 is that I believe he killed 11 people. Yeah. So at some point, I think I just don't want what they call an 11 barrel. A barrel means you've thrown too many of the similar things into your script. It's a comedy writing term for comedy TV shows. They say, oh, we got an 11 barrel. Just cutting. I was 11 years old when I first heard of the. See, that's too many words. When I heard about. Yeah, I was 11 years old when I heard about this chemistry set killer, my first serial killer. I wish it wasn't killer, but I'll deal with that later. Hello, Aaron. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. The writing is going well. We are now just cutting. We are at a very, very different phase because all I'm doing is trying to cut as many words and phrases and sentences as possible just to get my script into a manageable shape. Right now, my scenes are way too long and the script itself is 30 pages too long. When I heard about this, serial killer. People were afraid. People were afraid it was on the... People were panicking. People were panicked. It was on the news. Everyone was suddenly afraid of their own of their own home. Okay. Yes, beat when I put in a little bit, which frankly I'm going to do more of, but right now I'm just saying, if I do this little beat in dialogue, only in dialogue, does not extend to description. You wouldn't put it here. You wouldn't write beat. Partly because there's, it has to do with the flow of dialogue. Yes, once I cut, I can start to think. Right now, there's just too much clutter. It's like I can't even decide it's like I'm looking at my closet and I can't decide what I want to wear because there's just too much stuff. I was 11 years old. This was on the news. This was in the news. They're on pantries and refrigerators. They're on pantries and refrigerators. It was in the news. Look at that. Cutting. Apparently for the fun of it. The sport, to get attention. Don't need out there, was killing other people. Apparently for the fun of it. For the fun of it. I don't need apparently. It was the first time I became aware of human evil. The chemistry kiss. He was killing other people for fun, for the sport, to get attention. He was killing other people for fun, for the sport, to get attention. See, this is a better speech than it was. That's interesting. It's definitely tailored to the speaking style. It is if you notice, I am saying this out loud as I cut it. I'm trying to get a sense of if I was listening to this, would I be would he be talking to me? Would he be telling me this story and guiding me from thought to thought? Knowing someone could do that, it changed everything. And he could be anyone. Strike anywhere. So you don't need to repeat. A lot of this is just and he could be anyone, and he could strike anywhere. He could be anyone, strike anywhere. It's just it's the flavor of conversation that I am looking at. And I believe, I'm going to get to it here in the outline. I talk about how his first serial killer, he realized life was fragile. But right now, I'm just cutting. Yep, this is all true. Yes, actually, it is kind of it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm, but it's also as Brian points out, a change of some kind. There's although sometimes it's not. Sometimes a beat is just you want to emphasize like the last line. So you do this. See, now he wanted to make sure that he wanted attention. That would make this part more noticeable. That's the point, is that it would give it a little impact, the way that sometimes somebody pauses slightly before they say the killer last piece of a line. So that's just what I was getting at. Although in this case, I don't want to do that. All right. This man is killing other people for fun, for sport, for the sport, to get attention. Yeah, this is not the same thought, so I'm going to cut it. Okay. Oh, the way I decided on 60 pages is traditionally, this is a television pilot episode for an hour-long drama. Traditionally, hour-long scripts are 60 pages because they calculate roughly a page a minute for scripts. That's why a movie is roughly 90 to 120 pages. That's why a half-hour sitcom will be about 30 pages, although that's tricky because sitcoms often are formatted differently, so they actually run like 50 pages. But I am doing an hour-long drama, so about 60 pages for an hour's worth of show is the way I look at it. See, this is just, that was extra words. Okay. Now, this is too much theory. So let's see. Okay, definitely not. But don't know if any of this is important. But maybe something will happen. Lots of work for 60 pages. Yes, that is true. In fact, famously, it can be harder to write 60 than 120 because the density means you've got to pull off fancier tricks quicker. And so famously, Mark Twain said, if I had more time, I could have made it shorter. It's a lot of work to make things short and concise and clear. Yes, exactly. Sometimes you put a beat in, just like an actor will put a pause in to call attention to the thing that's going to come after the pause. When we speak, we often do that. So, yes, if a character had a very thick accent, you would try to write it at least somewhat like they are, like it sounds, because you want to give the impression. When you're writing a script, the main thing you're trying to do is give the impression that this is happening for the reader, that what they're reading has to come to life in their mind. And especially through character and action, we have to be following it and feeling the distinctive qualities of it. So you don't want to be proper. You don't want to have everybody be correct. Correct is of no interest to the screenwriter. You also don't want to make it hard to read. So just don't, if the accent is super thick, unless that's you try and balance it so that it's readable, but sounds like the accent. I don't even need this. Boom. Okay, maybe someone knows something. Maybe someone out there knows something they haven't told. They haven't told anyone. And hearing this. Okay, so no one is listening, and then you have no one is listening. But I am on a mission. This is just vague. Is there a difference between someone hiding and someone? Let's cut. Let's cut. I have a secret weapon. I see. Now we get into it. Yeah, I wouldn't say, sorry, I didn't see this. You could just say he has a strong Irish accent and then write normally, but you should write the way it sounds. Write as best you can the way a person speaks, to create it in the mind of the reader. Okay, see, now I have a secret weapon. I'm going to use this product. I have found new evidence. New evidence of, regarding. Sometimes you gotta add letters. It's out there in plain sight, but no one's looking. Okay, the case was cold. We've said that. Oh, good. The Apartment. For those of you who don't know, I highly recommend that. It's just a marvelous movie. It's just one of the great romantic comedies of all time, and well worth seeing. Partly because, as I mentioned, the beginning has a voiceover that establishes a technique of communicating to the audience that they then just drop. But you know what? And honestly, if somebody read the script of The Apartment now, they would say, "Oh, that is impossible. You can't do that." They did it. This is just not important. And honestly, this, I'm not even sure if this is. Yeah, it's not. Boom. Look at that. This is the same thing. Boom, cut. Do I need this? Oh, look how time flies when you are cutting. All right. I talked about the case being cold. Then there's this guy killed 11 people and then vanished. Just vanished. This guy killed 11 people and then just vanished. You know what? We just don't need this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, this still isn't organized properly. I'm just trying to get rid of the unnecessary words. Then I have to actually write it, organize it, make it flow. Okay, this is not important. Okay, look at that. We have cut 2 pages. You know, to a certain extent, he doesn't. He does not have Asperger's. He's just stubborn. He's just he wouldn't say quirky. Yeah, I don't let go. And honestly, what I was thinking about this was that it also relates to his marriage, but I don't know. I don't actually think that this is important, but I'll see. Right now, I'm just cutting. And that, I believe, is where we're going to stop. We're going to say, look, I cut 2 pages out of this mess. It's still too long, but at least what was 4 pages or so is now 3. So we are making progress. I am making progress. You are making progress watching me. So the lesson for today is cut. If you have stuff, just do at least one side. And this is actually an interesting thing to talk about. One thing to do is to just say, okay, I'm going to do a pass. We call it a pass in the business. Going through the script to just do one thing. Just say, I'm going to do a pass just to work on description. Or I'm going to do a pass and just cut. Like right now, I'm just going to go from page 1 to page 95 and cut everything. I'm not going to get distracted with other tasks because just clearing out the clutter will mean that I can do the next task, which is organizing the flow, better. But you can only do one thing at a time, really. At least you should set yourself the task of doing one thing at a time. Things come up, you change, you get inspirations, whatever. But to just say, okay, I just spent a week or more organizing my notes for the rewrite into the outline. Having done that, so I've gotten my thoughts together, before I start actually doing those notes, I'm just going to cut. And that's what we're going to be doing for a little while. So that is condensed milk equals cream. Kitschy, you lost me. First of all, it doesn't. That's simply not true. Cream and condensed milk are different things. That's what's going on. No, I didn't think you were saying it's a bad thing. I was just thinking, is it a true thing? True to the character, true to my understanding of the character? Is it something I wanted to be part of his character? And the answer is no. And part of that is because what I was thinking there was, this is a guy who doesn't let go of his ex-wife, which I then have later, since I wrote that, decided is not the case at all. He did let go. He just forgot that he had left his will untouched. And the obsessive thing is just what you have for detectives, what you have for why is he doing this podcast. But I would, like I said, the whole point of the rough draft is I threw down everything that entered my mind, anything I could, which meant it's 30 pages too long. Now, I have to start clearing that up, discarding the things that were interesting but not helping. Okay. Yeah, I use it in my coffee. But it is technically not cream. It is technically another thing. I don't even know what it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. In a thriller, how does one bring in the main character into the plot? Well, every one will be different in a thriller. How does one bring it in? It depends on the story. In some, they're a detective and somebody walks into their office and says, "Hey, what about this?" In some, they are their best friend gets murdered. In Rear Window, he breaks his leg. He broke his leg. He was a photographer. He was photographing an auto race. There was a crash. He got injured. He's got a broken leg. He's stuck in his house. He looks out the window. He begins to see what he believes is a mystery, a murder. So that's what that one's. Every single thriller will start with a different. There's certain tropes. Someone you know disappearing, someone you know getting murdered, discovering something, moving to a new place. All those things are possibilities. The best thing that you can do is watch as many as you can and keep them in your head. Your toolkit is everything you've watched. Break it down and say, oh, that's how they did it. That's how these other people did it. I should have all of those in my head so that when I write my thriller, I can go through the list and go, that one's cool. I'll adapt that. Okay. Yes, cool. I'm so glad. Great. Okay, guys. So, oh, okay. Yes, I now see. And cream being the thing that rises to the top. So it's the good thing and the condensed thing. I got it. Got it. Okay. Now it's making sense. All right. This is the perfect place to say, you know what? Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm all embarrassed now. Thank you. It is great to share this with you. I am having fun doing this. It is cool to start showing you a new part of it, which is just the relentless cutting and condensing, making into condensed sweetened milk. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to say good night for now. Go write something.